I know. Do you see her? Because she sees you. First name Hillary, last name Clinton is back. And this time she's suggesting Hillary Clinton suggests jailing Americans for posting misinformation. Political police. You must follow the orders, eat the bugs or nothing. So there needs to be deterrence. So in other words, hey, Trump is woogie boogie 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 boogie, a real bad man. Donald Trump's a bad man. And where else would first name Hillary, last name Clinton be able to speak this kind of stuff? Well, none other than on the most groundbreaking truth-telling story network ever, BSDNC, with none other than the greatest reporter of our time, first name Rachel, last name Maddow. Because, hey, corporate media and the pundits there would never lie to us. That would never happen. So let's find out how we're all going to jail. Hey, listen, it's going to be great. We're all going to be going to jail and be like, damn, mastermind, they got you too. Damn, dude, dissidents, they got you too. Dr. Nick, they got you. Oh, come on. So let's meet our good friend Hillary Clinton and find out how we're all going to go to jail. That's right. All of you posting the truth. How dare you? How dare you inform your fellow citizens, you awful, awful people?
He's still being taught, especially by the media, that the more offensive he is, the more he can dominate the media space entirely. And I feel like you've been a good diagnoser of that, not only from when you were up against him, but from what others have done. So do you have an antidote for that, or a way that people can talk themselves out of taking that bait?
I think that's really a critical question. And I think there's a couple of things going on here. You mentioned the press, and sadly, the press is still not able to cover Trump the way that they should. They careen from one outrage to the next. What was outrageous 3 days ago is no longer on the front pages, even though it threatens the physical safety of so many people, particularly, as you point out, immigrants that he and Vance have decided to demonize. And I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is. The late, great journalist, Harry Evans, one time said that, journalists should, really try to achieve objectivity. And by that, he said, I mean, they should cover the object.
Okay, I had to pause here. Okay, so covering the object, covering the truth. Okay, weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. How'd that all turn out? Good thing we had some groundbreaking reporters, not only to call that Bush Jr. and Cheney were lying to the American people, and thankfully we avoided a devastating war that could have cost billions of dollars and millions of oops. Turns out that war continued on, and corporate media was more than happy to whistle and sing to that tune. But don't worry, they never made sure it would happen again. Not for places like Libya or Syria. Oh, wait. Oh, no. That happened again. Wait, hold on. I remember in 2008, there was this economic disaster. And because of the groundbreaking reporting from journalists, reporters, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, CBS, ABC, the New York Times, Washington Post, they were able not only to come up with a list of names, but these people were called out. And because of this, justice was served, and DC held all those people. Oh, wait, no. That didn't happen. Wait, Russiagate. Russiagate was a conspiracy theory. And thankfully, it was stopped right there because the media realized, I'm sorry. Wait, they let that happen. Oh, the Hunter Biden laptop story. And CNN had 50 experts to confirm that the story was true. Oh, wait, no, the story was false. But then the story turned out to be true. You see, I'm only scratching the surface here. Oh, wait, what about Julian Assange, who has, again, this might shock all of you. Please don't faint. Don't fall down. All right. So if you fall and bust your skull open, don't take us to court. Okay. But WikiLeaks, do you know how many stories they ever had to retract? A whopping 0. I know. Everybody calm down. Please calm down, everybody. I need you to calm down. You got Hillary Clinton up here saying, oh, yes, you must report the facts. Hey, did anybody report the facts of what was happening during the 2016 Democratic primary when the DNC was working together with the Clinton campaign to deny Bernie Sanders the nomination? Oh, wait, oops, nope. That didn't happen. Tell us again, Hillary. Tell us again what's going on.
Well, the object in this case is Donald Trump, his demagoguery, his danger to our country. And
hold on. Popeye the Sailor says, but the hurt feelings, Kit. Hey, this is democracy in the chat. This is a question that I want all of you to ask. Does Kit Cabello care about people's hurt feelings? Type 1 for, well, Kit, I've watched your show. You care, right? And look, politics is a very sensitive subject. Type 1 for the, yeah, like I care. Type 2, nah, man. Kit Kat don't care about no feelings. F your feelings. Oh, no. Donald Trump's a bad man. Oh no, it's Trump. So many people I respect have that man living rent free in their head, and you couldn't give a damn if you exist or not. Am I a fan of this election cycle? No. Am I surprised that Trump's running again? No. But it's the thing called growing up. Okay? Got to come to terms with it. Trump is not Adolf Hitler reincarnated. Woogie, boogie, 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 boogie. Santa's not real. Well, wait, there was a St. Nicholas. He was a Byzantine priest. But okay, there we go. There was a St. Nicholas. Ooh, caught myself there. But guess what? Loch Ness Monster's not real. Sasquatch is a scam artist. The Tooth Fairy's not real. And leprechauns don't exist. Controversial statement made by Hard Lens Media. If that hurts your feelings, too bad, so sad.
In the world, and stick with it. You know, they were merciless about what they saw as President Biden's, problems in the debate and calling for him to withdraw. I believe Donald Trump has disqualified himself over and over and over again to be a presidential candidate, let alone a president. The second thing, though, is that part of what Trump is counting on is for people to get desensitized. I mean, oh my gosh, did you hear what he said yesterday? Did you hear who he attacked? Did you hear the
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
viciousness? And it just like with a shrug, okay, fine, we're moving on. Well, Americans need to understand that they have to take Trump both seriously and literally. He has said what he wants to do. He and his allies with Project 2025, his desire to be a dictator, at least on day one, all of that is in the public record. And I believe that more Americans have to be, willing to endure what frankly is discomforting and to some extent kind of painful. To take him at his word and to be outraged by what he represents. And then finally, the hopeful side of this is that I do think more and more Americans are, rejecting the kind of chaos that he represents. We can't go back. That's what the Harris campaign says all the time. We're not going back. We're not going back to, what he failed to do.
Just like what Obama said. Hey, Obama, we're going to hold the Bush-Cheney administration responsible for war crimes and also helping contribute to the 2008 economic collapse. We can't go back. We got to look forward. Forward. Stop asking questions. This is Barack Obama. Tell all of you, go forward. By the way, I realized I brought up Obama's name, and Hillary Clinton is probably like getting upset somewhere in the deep areas of the warp, saying, "Don't mention the time I lost in 2008."
To protect American lives during COVID. We're not going back to the, romance with dictators that puts, innocent lives at risk and America's security in danger. We can't go back and give this very dangerous man another chance to do harm to our country and the world.
Speaking of dictators, the Justice Department and
Take him at his word if he's saying they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Hey, we got JB Font in the chat. Shout out to JB. Thank you so much. He's one of the very few people who help support Hard Lens Media. Thank you so much, man. Love you. I'm sorry, few. One of the many people. Sorry about that. What? See, every time I listen to Hillary Clinton, I feel like I'm being hypnotized. I'm being like my brain is losing critical thinking. But hold on. It gets even better because Hillary Clinton tells Maddow that Americans who are working with Russia should be charged for treason. Everything is treason.
Doing in 2015 and 2016, what they continued doing, they've gotten more sophisticated. They aren't even pretending anymore. Their international news operation, Russia Today, RT, is an arm of the Russian government, an arm of its intelligence operation. It's basically an extension of their spying efforts. They are using Americans, both those who are witting and willing, and those who are unwitting, and are just so surprised. They're getting, $400,000 a week or $100,000 a podcast to parrot Kremlin propaganda.
Now, this has to deal with the recent revelation, what happened with Tenet Media. Now, Tenet Media, their channel's still down, and many of the people that did collaborate with Tenet Media, they have gone on the record saying like, hey, we didn't know that there was some Russian association with it. But because of that, now you have many people who want, for example, like Dave Rubin or Tim Pool to be arrested and charged for treason. Well, if they didn't know, okay, fine. Hey, look, we have in this country a thing called due process. I know that I hope I didn't give any liberals a panic attack, but yeah, we have a thing called due process. In theory, innocent before proven guilty. In a court of law. So you have so many people calling for so many people to be censored and suppressed and be arrested for this and that and the other. What's the difference between a diehard hypnotized Democrat and a diehard hypnotized Republican? Probably not too much, because guess what? You have both political parties that are on board for censorship and suppression and vilify the other side. Okay? I mean, come on. These politicians are all one the same. Censor, 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 arrest, arrest, arrest. You're a traitor. No, you're a traitor. No, you're a traitor. No, you're a traitor. Well, I'm a Trader Joe.
Yeah. And we know from what even Republicans have said, the chairs of the Intelligence Committee and the, Foreign Affairs Committee and other Republicans who are currently in office have said that Republicans go to the floor of the Congress and they parrot Russian talking points. So I think it's important to indict the Russians, just as Mueller indicted a lot of Russians who were engaged in direct election interference and boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in.
So it's time to arrest and rat out your fellow Americans. Big Brother loves you. Follow the orders. Eat the bugs. You will own nothing and be happy. Keep an eye on those you've deemed suspicious. Tell me, folks, what could possibly go wrong in this day and age of massive censorship and suppression? Well, there's a whole lot that could, can, and will go wrong. Salem witch trials should forever be a lesson in history. But better yet, too, look at the McCarthy trials, the Red Scare, the witch hunt that happened to so many people. We haven't learned our lesson. And now in this day and age where technology is intertwined with our livelihoods and how we make a living and how we live and communicate, it's so easy to group people up and say, get them, censor them, silence them, remove them, terminate them. If you're not scared, you should be.
And this kind of propaganda, and whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged, is something that would be a better deterrence, because the Russians are unlikely, except in a very few cases, to ever stand trial in the United States. They're not going to be going to a country where they can be extradited or even returning to the United States unless they are very foolish. So I think we need to uncover all of the connections and make it very clear that you could vote however you want. But we are not going to let adversaries, whether it is Russia, China, Iran, or anybody else, basically try to influence Americans as to how we should vote in picking our leaders.
Someone should tell Hillary Clinton that the U.S. has also instituted those same programs all around the world by doing coups, regime change, wars, and sanctions to remove said governments or leaders because, they might have found that Texas tea, also known as oil, in their backyard and decided to liberate it. Right? Right? No one wants to talk about that. Plus, again, the remnants of Russiagate. What did the whole Russiagate conspiracy reveal? A whole lot of nothing. Oh, no. It was all one big waste of time. Hey, but listen, to Rachel Maddow, that was her bread and butter. New boats and cars don't buy themselves, And yet, somehow, when we in independent media point out just how much a farce Russiagate was, we get vilified. But yet, the witch hunt still continues, and here we are still in this day and age with the war in Ukraine. I mean, that's the aftermath of Russiagate, and that is the war in Ukraine. But don't worry, corporate media is still telling you that we got to silence and suppress, because right now they're going after RT again. They're doing it again. They're doing it again, folks. Let's listen to the brave minds at BSDNC.
So the Biden administration says that Russian state media and the Kremlin-backed TV network RT are waging covert information warfare around the globe and are effectively an arm of Moscow's spy agencies. The administration adds that RT and the Russian-backed media groups are actively working to interfere in multiple countries' elections, including in Moldova and, of course, here in the United States. The revelation came as President Biden hosted the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at the White House, with Russia's war in Ukraine being the focal point of their discussions.
Mastermind, get up, go see the White House counselor who shaved Rachel's head. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Among the topics of discussion, long-range missiles, and specifically whether the United States will allow Ukraine to use Western-supplied long-range missiles for strikes inside Russia. So far, Biden has held firm against this.
Yeah, because, if we use our weapons going deep inside Russia, no pun intended, Russia might go deep inside us with other weapons, huh? Because, it might cause an exchange. Wait, better yet, instead of an exchange, a nuclear exchange. What could go wrong? You have so many people invested in this war, and no one's talking about peace talks now. It's getting out of hand. It's getting crazy. More people are dying. And again, the war in Ukraine is the aftermath of Russiagate. Okay? Listen, liberals, I know you had your heart broken that Hill Dog lost to Donald Trump. But just so you all know, it was an easy election for her to win. She could have done it in theory, but she was such a piss poor candidate because if you look at her track record, she was a terrible candidate and she's never let it go, which is why occasionally she still shows up on corporate media, still not letting it go, still promoting Trump derangement syndrome, still promoting Russiagate, and now saying that certain Americans need to go to jail and that other people need to be arrested for misinformation. The thing is, if you're on board with that, don't worry, because someday it could happen to you too. Someday you yourself might have the wrong opinion, and then, political police.
However, the administration has recently signaled an openness to non-American made and supplied weapons being used inside Russia. Russia has reacted angrily to the long-range missile push, with Vladimir Putin saying it would be akin to a declaration of war, though he's made similar threats throughout this war. Right now, Moscow is engaged in a counteroffensive for territory that Ukraine recently captured in the Kursk region of Russia. This is the first major push by Moscow since Ukraine's incursion, which took place more than a month ago. Ukraine claims to have captured some 500 square miles of Russian territory. The Russian Defense Ministry says that they have recaptured 10 settlements within that territory. In a statement, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky acknowledged Russia's counteroffensive, adding, quote, everything is going in accordance with our Ukrainian plan, end quote, but he didn't elaborate on that.
Yes, because, hey, more people are dying. People are dying. And, folks, it's only going to get worse because, hey, here's our good friend Antony Blinken. Blinken, tell us what Facebook Meta is going to do.
We're taking steps to hold accountable those who weaponize disinformation to undermine our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous
Dangerous to our democracy. Brace yourself, folks.
to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous 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 to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I want to hear it again, but with more feeling.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
That's what we did just last week when the State Department, the Justice Department, the Treasury Department, the FBI took a series of coordinated actions to counter Russian influence and interference in our elections and in our democracy.
But we are concerned about irresponsible, one-sided news stories
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false news
has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I want it to be said again. You, sir, in the center, look and say it with passion. And you, lady, my arrow's on you. I want you to look more sad, like someone shot your dog. And if not, I'll shoot your dog.
We're taking steps to hold accountable those who weaponize disinformation to undermine our democracy.
Yes, because everything's a danger. Because this is, listen, folks, this is extremely dangerous to our constitutional republic. What? The CIA's at my front door. Oh, no. Oh, it's Hillary Clinton. Folks, I had a good run. Farewell, everybody. Is this the end of Kit Cabal? Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere yet. So what can we take away? What can we learn? Well, you have a major corporate media outlet. We have a major corporate media outlet that is promoting a former presidential candidate saying, yeah, I think it's a good idea that we should be arresting our fellow Americans for misinformation. Well, gee, was it misinformation for people to say that there were no WMDs in Iraq? Was it misinformation to say that Russiagate was a conspiracy theory? Was it misinformation to say that the Hunter Biden laptop was real? Was it misinformation to really call out the fact that in the 2008 economic collapse, no one was held accountable and our politicians let it happen? Is it misinformation to say that our politicians are doing insider trading? Well, according to the system as is, it is. That's how you get censored and suppressed and silenced. Look what they're doing to Max Blumenthal. And look what they're doing to third parties. Look what they're doing to independents. Look at what they're doing to the Uhuru group. When I say it's going to get worse, it will. Keep your heads on a swivel, folks. It's only going to get worse.